Hello princesses! Today I'm going to be showing you how I got a full face of Up-You makeup. I'm also going to be going out for a big dog walk today, so I'm going to put some timestamps as to where the actual tutorial starts, where the dogs start, and where you can hear my final thoughts about all of the products. Because I can tell that this is going to be a bit of a longer one. I'm going to keep my talking with the products more to a minimum because everybody likes dogs, right? And if you don't like dogs, you can skip to the end. So if you would like to see how I achieved this makeup look, then please do keep watching. So I have washed, moisturized, and put sunscreen on. I'm not going to be using a primer because I just don't use them that often in real life anyway. But I am going to be using the Personal Tone foundation. I got the shade W01, which is the lightest shade in the warm section. They have a neutral section as well as a cool section. But for me, like, it's still quite neutral to cool, even though it's supposed to be warm. So I think I'm going to do this half of my face with a beauty blender and then the other half with just a regular cushion puff, because when I swatched the foundation it was quite thick, so I wanted to try it out with a puff that would make it a little bit thinner. And I do love my beauty blender, but I just hate dampening it before I start because I am super lazy. So that is the beauty blender side, and it blended out really nicely. I'm very happy with that. The coverage isn't that good, and the colour's not good either. But I'm going to use the cushion puff on the other side. I think I'm going to need a bit more. The side of the cushion puff isn't blending out quite as nicely. It's quite thick, which, I mean, I'm not particularly a fan of. And I usually use cushion puffs for most of my makeup because, like I said, I'm lazy and I can't be bothered wetting my beauty blender. But I also feel like the side where I use the cushion puff has more coverage and the side where I use the beauty blender looks more natural. So I'm going to zoom out just a little and show you the colour because it's not good. It is a little bit too light, but it's mostly too bright. So my neck looks quite yellow in comparison. Even if it was a light warm tone shade, it wouldn't make my neck look so like yellow. And I got the W shade specifically because it's warm toned, and I would not consider this to be a warm tone foundation. So I've got a bit of a ghostly face, but I'm aware of that. We'll just keep going. I also got the Up-You Moist Creamy Concealer, and I have this shade 1, which is Frozen. This side of my face looks fine. This is a birthmark and it's not going to be covered up by anything, it's just going to be there. But this side I have 2 pimples where I can use a concealer, and I actually want to try putting some like underneath my eyes as well because I never really do that, and the shade is a little bit brightening for me. Actually, not with this foundation, but okay. So I'm going to put just a little bit. That was more than a little bit. So I know you're not supposed to conceal pimples and like under eye, like highlighting what I'm doing here with the same colour of concealer, but whatever. I'm mostly just having a bit of fun. And I'm going to use the clean side to just blend the lines out a little bit. I have no idea how beauty gurus use so much concealer underneath their eyes. Like, do they not spend a million years blending it? So the concealer did an okay job with the really dark scarring and a pretty good job with the light scarring. My blushes this time are again creams. I don't know why I keep getting cream blushes when I don't like them that much. And I only have 2 of the shades out of 5. So these are the Up-You Bonobono Creamy Cheek blushes. I have CR04 as well as VL02. I think I'm going to use VL02 because that's a bit more suitable than the coral. I'm going to use my beauty blender to apply this as well because for me it just works better with cream blushes. Although it's not actually picking anything up. To really push down. Fingers crossed this looks nice. Otherwise I don't really have anything else. Okay, it's quite purple. Okay, you can hardly see it on camera, but I can still see it in real life. There you go, you can see a little. For the exposure done, you can see a bit too. So the next step for me is powder, and I'm going to be going out and about today and the weather's not great. So I'm going to be using the Merrill 100 Skin Soft Powder. There were a couple of powders that were very similar, but I chose the one that was Skin Soft because it is winter at the moment, or it's colder. So I didn't want something that was super drying. There is a little puff inside, of course, which is pretty much useless. So I've taken the seal off and I'm just going to shake a little bit of powder into the top of it. and that way I can use a small amount of powder. So I'm just smoothing out any creasing before I set it, because there's not much point in setting creased makeup. So I'm setting around my forehead quite well as around the sides of my face, because my hair just loves sticking to my face. The rest I'm going to leave a little bit dewy today, but it's not sticky. Ooh, my forehead feels very nice though. Oh, you won't be able to see it very well I think, but just from patting my skin, the foundation's coming off on my fingers. That's not a good sign. I am going to go for brows next. So this is the Edge Brow Pencil, and I think I got it in the darkest shade, which is either black or brown, or maybe grey. But it is a promising colour, so like it's pretty dark. And I've been having an issue with a lot of Asian products at the moment that all the brow products have been orange. And I am not an orange brow gal. Although a lot of people say that it didn't look bad, it's definitely not like my preference. It's been so long since I've used like a brow pencil that I literally am like not even colouring within the lines. Okay, I'm gonna have to use like the spoolie on the other end and see if I can brush through there a little bit. And this gets rid of some of the harsh lines. The pencil is quite soft, which I don't necessarily mind, but it smudges quite quickly. So that is the colour. I'm actually not displeased by that. It's a bit lighter than I would have liked, but at least it's like a brownie brown. It's not like a ginger brown. Not that I think ginger brown like products don't look good for brows, but I just think that because my hair is so dark that it just looks a little bit funny. I don't mind them. I do think that they are a little bit light for the darkest colour though. I didn't manage to pick up any eyeshadows, even though Apu has a lot of eyeshadows. Because I couldn't pick up an entire collection, I decided not to get any. But I do have these contouring kits, and I thought that I might be able to do some sort of eyeshadow with just like the browns and the highlighting kit. So I'm going to start out gently with the lighter brown, just on a little fluffy brush, and I'm going to run it through my crease. We're going to see how well these work as eyeshadows. They may work terribly, I don't know, I've not tried it. But the compact comes with a little mirror, which I think is really good. Since it's a contouring colour, it'll probably work quite well in the crease because it'll be like a nice natural shadow. And I don't want it to be like a super impressive eye look at all, because I'm not going to be using really any colours, just contouring and highlight. So I'm just giving my eye a little bit of shape. And it's actually blending out really nicely. It's quite subtle because this is the lighter brown shade, but I am finding that the powders are quite flaky. So now I'm actually going to take the highlighting kit, and I'm going to take the little like rosy gold shade on the end there, and a flat shader brush, and I'm just going to put that on top of my lid. Ooh! That is actually a beautiful eyeshadow. The colours actually don't really go together, but oh well. I'm going to do the other eye. This is again a really beautiful shade, but the powders are so crumbly. I'm not sure how well they would actually last. I'm going to take that same light brown and I'm going to run it underneath my lash line. And then to add a little bit more depth, I'm going to use the darker brown shade just in the outer corner. Just a little bit. And that will do for now. For eyeliner, I did pick up these glitter caras, a glitter liner cara, but when I swatched them, I was expecting them to be like a thick line of glitter, and they're not. So I'm just going to use a regular black liquid eyeliner, and I will be right back. So that's just a little bit of liner. This is the KPalette Real Lasting Eyeliner 24-hour one-day tattoo liner, which is not Apu. Going back to the glitter LineCara, these are eyeliners as well as mascaras, and I'm not going to be using them for mascara, but I am going to use the glitter liner in my inner corners. So I think I'm going to use this one, which I think is number 1. They don't have any names or any numbers on them, which is a little bit annoying, but I'm going to use it the same as how you'd use any tear eyeliner. So just on the high point of my under eye area, not too close to my eye because I don't want to get glitter in my eye. It's a little bit hard to control the eyeliner part of this, but it is really pretty. It's quite cute though. I did also get a regular mascara because I knew I wouldn't want glitter liner and glitter mascara at the same time. And this is the My Little Mascara. I got the volume one, but I'm so happy that this is so tiny because I travel, so I like having small makeup items. Plus with mascaras, like I never get through a whole mascara before they start to dry up anyway, so what's the point? I'd rather just have like a really little one that I could actually use up. The wand is so much bigger than I thought it would be. Okay, let's give this a go. I'm hoping that it dries down nicely because a lot of Korean mascaras do not, and that is quite annoying. It's not super volumizing, but it does make my lashes look nice and they're not clumpy. So I'm going to show you what the eyes look up close. So this is the eye makeup. I'm not 100% sure about using the contour as eye makeup. It looks a little bit orange, but I do like the highlight. I think the highlight looks really beautiful. And I really like the tear liner, so like the inner corner liner. I think that looks really nice and almost natural. The brows are also fine, and the eyelashes are fine. They're not amazing, but they're fine. So of course I am going to be contouring. I have the contouring kit in one which is warm, which is what I used for my eyes, which are those shades. And then I have number 2, which is the neutral cool, which are these shades. And I feel like the warm ones would suit my complexion more than the cool ones, so I'm going to go with warm. I'm feeling that my foundation isn't going to be that solid, especially since if I touch my face it comes off on my fingers. So rather than using a denser brush, I'm going to be using a fluffier one. And it's still taking off the coverage of that one pimple. So annoying. And contour doesn't work that well on this side of my face because my birthmark is in the way. But we do what we can. And that's about as even as we're going to get. I have the highlighter, and I think that the pinky shade is going to be too dark because if it looks like that on my eyes, it's not going to look that good on my cheekbones. So I'm kind of going to dip my brush into the other 2 shades on the other side. It's pretty. It's not too intensely blinding. I'm not the type of girl that has that blinding highlight. I just don't really understand it. But it's still really pretty. Like, it adds a bit of glow. Oh, you know what I haven't done? Nose contour. There we go. That makes my face look a little bit more complete. Otherwise, my nose ends up looking so wide. Lastly, I need some lips. And I've only got 2 out of the 4 lip products that I have ordered. And they are Lamuqe. I cannot pronounce her name even though I listen to her say it like every single time. I have the brown lip stain, and then I have the pink one from the, I think this is also a lip stain, but I'm waiting for the red one out of this collection and the purple one out of that collection. Both are in different packages, which is so annoying. I can't see the brown working that well on myself, so I'm going to try the pink, which I also can't see working well on myself, but we'll give it a go. The pink is a very purpley pink, which I don't think suits me generally. But we might try gradienting it to start with, maybe. So it ended up not being too much of a gradient, but it's also not as pigmented as it usually is because I blended it with my finger. Now my finger's going to be pink for the rest of the day, but I think it's not too cool toned. Although the more you pat it and rub it, the purpler it turns. That's a new one for me. So this is the completed look for the day. The foundation is actually oxidized a little bit and it's not quite as bright, which is a good thing because it did not look good before. And I will check up with you guys throughout the day to show you how the makeup is wearing, but this is what it looks like so far. So it is just past 1 and I put the makeup on at 9, so that means that I have had the makeup on for about 4 hours now. I'm just about to eat, so I thought I would check in with you guys before I did. So I haven't had anything yet, so the lipstick is actually still pretty good. Like, this is how it looked when I first put it on, so pretty impressed. Everything else looks pretty good as well. The skin is still pretty good. It's kind of evened out a little bit and it looks a little bit less weird in terms of the color match. The highlight is actually really pretty and I'm enjoying that. The contour didn't work out so well and I feel like the concealer has lost a bit of coverage. Like, I might as well not have that on at all. The eyes are still looking very pretty. The contour and highlight eyeshadow is going pretty well and I'm enjoying the tear liner too, which is cute. So I will check back in with you guys a little bit later to see if anything is degrading. So it is almost 5:30. The makeup has been on since 9, which makes it about 8 hours, or 8.5. And I got sick of my hair, so it's up in a bun. But the makeup is actually not looking that bad. So the contour and highlight is standing up alright. Considering it's not really eyeshadow, it is starting to crease a little bit, especially in the inner corners. But it still looks okay. The tear liner still looks good on this side, but this side has been wiped away a little bit, so it's not super sturdy. My skin is looking pretty good. I wouldn't be unhappy with it. It's not super oily and it's super hard to see, but there are places where it's kind of breaking up, especially around the sides and on top of my nose, which isn't usually that bad. I don't like the concealer under my eyes because it's really showing those fine lines that you wouldn't normally see. The concealer is also pretty useless at concealing spots, in my opinion. But the lipstick, I'm so surprised that the colour is still on. So I've had lunch, that's the only thing that I've eaten today. But like, it's not that bad. I'm actually very impressed. So all in all, I think that my face still looks pretty good. And 9 to 5 is kind of like your normal working day as well. So it's a pretty good longevity test. The colour of the foundation still does look off. Not as off as when I first put it on though. It's getting better. In other words, it oxidized a little bit more, which is kind of a good thing. That's like in comparison to my hands. My hands just look so like yellow in comparison. I don't know. But that is it for my full face of Apu makeup. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video and I'll see you next time. Bye!